I noticed.
All right. So, last time we played was the Tell Me How You Got Your Ship episode. It was pretty good. You guys gave me a good rundown on the different things you did, what decisions were made. What decisions were made also influenced some of the story behind the scenes. One of those things was you guys were, Chad, through storytelling, said that they were loading up some pieces of the ship onto your ship, which netted you guys 2 extra systems. I believe you chose the radio and the hypercapacitor. We'll see how those work out. Let's see. Yeah, so as that went down, eventually some shootouts occurred. You guys survived. A couple people got hurt a little bit, and y'all woke up on your ship, the Nightingale, the one you stole. Or, in this case, it's honest salvage, right? A lot of things happened in that little exchange. One thing you do remember is Mjolnir kind of got hosed by the UWC, and you do have 2 of its members or former members, you really haven't decided, on your boat with you, as well as Carl. He was managed to pilot your guys' your transport ship, the Entropy, into your docking bay.
Is he no longer Cal?
What is it? What did I call him?
Cal. You called him Carl.
Carl? It's Cal. Fucking Carl.
Are we sure it's not Clyde?
It could be Clyde. I don't know. I don't like Cal, but I'm gonna stick with it. So, but you were introduced.
No, you're not.
You're gonna shut up, Greg. Shut up, or I'm gonna call you Cal. No. But anyway, so introduced to the weird tree-like AI system on your boat, as well as each other. Some of you in different states of baldness due to having to be put back together from being literally tossed around inside of a spaceship as it's doing evasive maneuvers without any sort of securing of your bodies. But three weeks have passed, and you guys are all in ship shape. Cal is part of a tree somehow. That seems to be keeping him alive. And yeah, you find yourself adrift in space somewhere in between both Kethra and Novus, off shipping routes in the dark, kind of strategically hiding until Cal could figure out what the hell was going on. But now that you guys are awake, he has some more guidance. So that's where we'll pick off. I have no idea what time of day it is, but you all are sitting around in the mess deck contemplating your next moves.
Well, I think first order of business would be to get this thing checked out by Helix, right?
That was part of the agreement.
So I say wherever that is, we need to get heading to there.
We have to take it somewhere, or do we just plug into the systems for them to analyze?
I believe there was a meeting point. Can I remember if there was a meeting point?
You can. You can remember if there was a meeting point.
Actually, can I just flip through my dossier in my head? Should be able to figure that one out.
Pretty much. Yeah, no, you look and kind of remember it was easily taken care of by just literally uploading and allowing it to take over the ship for a minute to do. Basically, they said, you can have the ship. We just want to know what makes it tick and all the inside parts. Good night, buddy. Sleep well. There was no meeting point. There was nothing like that. They just wanted to be able to get the schematics and relevant info that would be on the ship's computers.
Plug the thing in that's not going to fry the ship.
Yeah,
not
plug the non-burner one in.
It's always a good start. So, yeah. Go ahead.
Now I could either reach out to Helix Protocol for another job, or, hey, fuck, what's his name? The dude with the South African accent, spacing.
So we should probably ask why there was another fucking team there.
Another team of what?
You mean Gene Labs?
Uh-huh.
Gene World?
I figure they're the ones that installed the system, right?
I honestly don't know.
Well,
I do
who
remember them
was-
getting marked as enemy of the state. So
Who was the guy that his team was bringing the stuff onto the ship?
that was the Gene World guys.
But do we know who they were, or
Nope.
I know one of them, but I don't know what he's doing with them. It's not his style to be tied to a company.
Who was it?
Old acquaintance.
If
Well-
you give me a name, I can start doing my homework and see what we can find out. Maybe he is really deep into this company. Unless you want to do it.
Hold on. I have to
Look at my notes.
recall in my
Alright.
mental Rolodex.
So while you're bringing up that real quick, you said you were plugging in the data, the commando data jack thing for
Yeah.
operator data jack. All right,
yeah,
so
my operator data.
where are you plugging it in? Just a random computer port, or like the main bridge, or?
Biggest port.
I guess we're bullshitting in the lounge, right?
Mm-hmm. There would be access to the computer systems, but it would be like a secondary access, not a primary one.
I would yell out to Cal and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna plug in this jack to complete the mission. So tell the AIs don't freak out."
Yeah, roger that. I'll see what I can do.
I'll just plug it into the wall.
Okay. You plug it into the wall, and as you do, you kind of get, a weird kind of little static, and then a black screen with the HP logo, the blinking cursor.
The
And
nightingale is typing.
you see something odd that you're not used to. It's just like a loading bar getting, filling up at the bottom. But it says status eventually after about 30-40 seconds. It says status unlocked, transmitting data. You then get a ping from whatever you're beaming this, or wherever you're beaming this to send it out over the weave. And as you do, you get a reply ping back from there, which starts to update your screen. And on it, you see it says, transmitting, blah blah blah, gives you a readout. The thing that kind of catches your eye is you look over and it says, it usually would break down, your crew and all that stuff like that. It says status unknown next to your guy's name. Usually it says status operational. It says status unknown. As soon as it's done transmitting the data, which you can tell the AIs are watching what's happening as something's intruding into their network and stuff, you can see the status unknown goes to status compromised. But it does say data transfer complete.
I guess I would then open up the chat window and be like, "Why is our status currently compromised?"
Okay, so while you're waiting for the reply, what else do? You do know that you're far enough from any station or anything like that, there's probably going to be a delay in chat.
Right. Guess I'll look
Hey,
over at
Cal.
Phoenix and be like, "You want me to install those parts?"
Well, if I were you, it came up compromised. See if Cal, because maybe Cal was just hiding something. You know what I mean? He could have been masking something that got sent, and then I'm trying to come up with
that's it.
something.
I think it's
I would
from
still ask Cal to see if he maybe can know something.
Well, it's kind of a weird feeling, but it doesn't feel like anything's being masked. What's getting sent out's getting sent out. They packeted it up all, basically copy pasted the hard drives and everything except for the AI, because the AI are not allowing them, but they got schematics of the ship.
Okay. I'll unplug the operator jack and I'll plug it into my tablet,
Okay.
because that's already sent off. And then I'll be like, hopefully the AIs aren't too angry about it.
You'll
Well,
find out soon
they
enough.
Yeah.
We saw they could shoot foam and guns at us if they don't. So, being that we haven't been shot yet, good indicator.
Good idea.
It's a good call. Yep, Lawrence Manada. But yeah.
Matata? What?
No, I read the name that that Ox would have informed you
He means no worries.
for the rest of his days. You.
Can I get the names of the AIs again?
Yeah, it was Brachius, Femoral, and Corona.
Brachius femora.
Femoral and Corona. Engineering, weapons, and navigation.
So
What was the
Brachius
last one?
was weapons.
He's the strong arm. He's the weapon.
Gotcha.
What was the third one?
Corona.
And then femoral was what? Which guy?
Brachiosaurus female corona.
Femoral is the engineering, and Corona would be navigations and life support.
Okay.
Okay. So, what do you guys do?
We're in the dark. Are we getting uploads to or from the Weave?
You are. It's just slow. You're
Okay.
very far away from a relay
Is there-
station.
Is
We're
there
in
like
3G territory, not
Yeah.
LTE.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
is there like a
Definitely
neutral
roaming.
giant space station somewhere that I'd know about?
There's tons like that.
Where are we? Like you said, we're in between
Mhm.
Kethra and
Novus. Yeah.
Novus.
You are
So that-
about 50% of the way to either place, but kind of off shipping lanes, off the grid. Kind of just like if you could go off a tangent off of a freeway, that's where it would be.
Can I do a frugal search and try to see if I can figure out where Wolf's son might be kept?
Sure. Give me computer use and an investigation.
I'm gonna start scanning through the weave of news reports of what the hell happened at the UWC, if they
Okay.
have names, all that bullshit.
All right. So it's like
Obviously,
literally.
I wouldn't have advantage on those.
Okay, still 1918, still pretty good. I'll get that in a second, Phoenix. All right, so Leech, it's still front page news. It's the tragedy in Emory, the controversy continues, blah blah blah. That ongoing coverage of UWC corporate ties, their cover up against the people of Emory, blah blah blah. It's like death toll at 17.9 million. It's crazy.
Christ.
It's you learned that there was two detonated, basically unaccounted for nuclear devices. Both of them were neutron style bombs, i.e. just dishes out heavy radiation with a smaller yield. Still massively devastating blast, but a smaller one compared to the amount of radiation that it throws out. So basically Emory has two large cratery holes on both sides, a little bit of structural damage on the outside. Inside of it's mostly intact, minus some kind of tertiary explosion stuff that would make larger buildings fall if they're not stable. Seismic activities probably made some things fall and crumble, things like that. EMP blew out everything electronic, and there's a massive irradiated zone. Just the entirety of Emory is pretty much still glowing hot with radiation. Yeah, it's almost free real estate at that point. But as you continue looking in, it says what's reported as what went on is that UWC were putting down a corporate uprising, and everything was kind of dumped into Gene World. At Gene World, you can just click and there's like all these side stories about how Gene World is a secret corrupt thing, and you can see they have a few blurry images taken from people who uploaded stuff from Emery of the Gene World stuff in full swing. You, knowing what you're looking at, can see there's some diadem robots in there. You do find an article like, what is this secret technology that the Gene World people are using? But no ties to diadem at all. The UWC, again, is being chastised for use of excessive force because they basically orbitally bombarded everything that moved around Emery after the bombs went off to sterilize and pacify. They didn't care. It doesn't matter who it was getting hit. Which means like places like Hope were just orbitally bombarded. All the scrappers who lived out in the wastes, orbitally bombarded. Things like that. But yeah, that's basically the story you get is there was a corporate uprising against the UWC. The UWC came in, put it down. The terrorist organization, Gene World LLC or whatever, detonated 2 bombs in Emery when they couldn't take the UWC. The UWC's heroes are being vaunted and said, oh, it's so great. But again, excessive use of force and things like that. But for the most part, that's what the story is.
So, 2 questions. Just since we went through the military training, has there ever been a case that's happened like this before?
Of corporate uprisings or like nuking a city?
Like them using nukes to put down a corporate uprising?
Not nukes. The orbital bombardments and military and naval assets, yes, but
okay.
UWC's never nuked its own people, corporate or otherwise, that you know of. So
yeah. And then how big would the threat have to be perceived for them to usually use ordnance of that caliber?
Absolutely world-rending kind of stuff. Like, they would send in special forces units and your penal drop marines and stuff like that before they would orbitally bombard stuff. You're getting the only reason they orbitally bombarded because 2 dirty bombs went off, pretty much. And so they were like, the only people who would be running away from that are people who know it was there and people who were just lucky enough to be out of there. We can't tell the difference between the two. We're not going to take any chances. We're going to nuke them.
Okay, then I'm also going to look up news reports relating to Mjolnir and why they were branded as an enemy of the state.
So, you looked that up, and there was a issue for a call to arms, and there's also a court case that Mjolnir is fighting against the UWC right now for defamation of and destruction of their corporate assets. Mjolnir was no longer deemed an enemy of the state. It was a misunderstanding, as it was labeled. But Mjolnir says, "Fuck that shit. You guys fucking turned on us for some fucking god-forsaken reason, and we want to know why." Looking into it, Mjolnir's side of the story, you see a few articles written by somebody who interviewed Wade himself. Wade is reported to have said, "I think it's some goddamn conspiracies upstairs with somebody who's calling shots that ought not be calling shots." Basically, the gist of what you get is that Wade thinks somebody up high wanted to silence everything that was going on there. He can't confirm nor deny, as the EMP pretty much wiped up any sort of recorded stuff to include seed feeds, which sparks in your head, you guys still have all those. You might be the only people in the world who has footage of what exactly went down. Just something, a little food for thought. But yeah, that's Mjolnir is now no longer considered enemy of the state. Its shares have plummeted. It lost a lot of men, a lot of resources, and they're on the back end right now. They're on the back burner of Mercenary Corps.
When that thought comes to mind that we have footage, I'm going to clip the seed footage out, and I'm going to put it into my tablet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just use the comms across the ship and be like, I'm going to come get clips from each of you guys for what happened that night. and go walk around and move their thoughts onto my tablet, my secure tablet.
Okay.
I don't like you could just take my thoughts out of my head and put them onto your tablet.
Well, it's a dwindling window as it only goes back 24 hours without special software. So you're literally burning up memories right now as you speak. So you quickly get as much as you can from everybody. Takes 20-ish minutes total to download and put it all onto your tablet. By that time, you also get a reply on your message to Helix Protocol. But Phoenix,
Okay.
you were looking into where Wolf's son would have been held, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your search brings up a lot of interesting information. You know, if soldiers or something like that have a family that are on, you know, paperwork and stuff, and that soldier dies, the UWC takes care of them. You know, make sure all the power of attorney and stuff is given to the other parent and things like that. But in this case, there was no other parent. Wolf had it all. So basically, his child, being underage, now parentless, would have gone to basically the Catherine Adoption Society, or the Novosian Adoption Society, for that area that he was in. There's like thousands of different places across either of the planets that can do that. Doing a little digging, though, you find out which one he was. You can look up some records. Takes a little while to find him, but you do. And he was indeed, when after the Rally Point Juliet incident, which started this whole thing off, he was awarded to the state. There's even a sad little blog post about it from a local blogger. And he was hence given to the state, and after that, you really can't find anything without asking the court to give you records, because he is a child of the state. But you do know he went in one of the Novosian places, of which I will give you when...
So he went on the Novosian side.
Right.
Okay.
I'm the only one from Catherine.
Yeah.
Even then I spent most of that time in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just he went with the system. He could have been to dump wherever the fuck they wanted
Right.
to dump him.
Right.
You know?
But he did get uptaked in one of the Novosian cities. I would tell you the city. I just don't have it from Trey right now. So once,
That's fine.
once he gives it, it would have all been common knowledge though. But yeah. So you know that was the last place you can get a record of him without asking a court to give it to you. You know what I mean? So.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Nick, what was the thing you messaged to Helix Protocol again?
Why are we compromised?
Okay.
Shouldn't our status be operational?
Okay. Their reply was unknown if you were alive. Then the next line. You sent wide beam communication to us, which was intercepted, which we had to scramble our blackout protocols. 3, unable to confirm if that was accidental or if you were under duress. 4, still unsure, as we have no way to monitor you. 5, suggest get within range of a large weave relay for a debrief.
Was our
Say,
wide
we seem to
beam
be like out in the middle
communication?
of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, we're hiding out in space.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
so you get that reply
bad
back.
to send that kind of information
Yeah.
like that.
We're basically just parked on an asteroid right now.
Not even. You're just floating.
We're floating.
You're not even around nothing. Yeah.
So when the wide beam communication, is he talking about when I beamed at the base when I requested them to hack through the...
No, I think he was talking about when you just said, "Hey, here's the ship's information."
Oh, okay.
Don't know.
We don't know. We should head to the nearest.
Yeah, I think we should
Access
stop
point.
trying to communicate with him this way, and we should go somewhere. Like,
All right. I'll go get in this cockpit.
like right now, instead of saying like point to point, "Hey, we're having a conversation," now we're just sending information out to the
Space,
void.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully it gets to the right person and no one else intercepts it. That's
All right.
Does not happen.
I'll go towards the cockpit and I'll get in my seat.
What are our roles? Have those been decided?
Oxley's
far-
Worf, he's the pilot. I'm the captain. You can be.
You want to be a gunner or the engineer?
Either.
I want you to be the engineer because we'll have the sniper.
I
round
hit the
gun.
biggest button the best.
Yes, you were the black guy with the sweet visor. You're
Geordie
LeVar
LaForge.
Burton, baby.
Yeah.
Dude,
Damn it, I don't have my
that's a
sunglasses.
great honor.
I don't know.
I would love to be fucking LeVar Burton. That guy's a god.
Oh yeah, man.
I'll look over at you, Clyde, and be like, I'll start teaching you some stuff if you want.
I could use a little bit. I have been out on these rigs for a long time. I know basics, but I don't know any of the deep technical know-how.
All right. Yeah, I'll work with you on that when we have some time. And then I'm going to totally strap in this time because I didn't strap in last time. And I'm going to plug my arm in, and then I'll just be like, Corona, are you there?
Yes. What can I do for you?
I need you to help me plot a point for the nearest Weave terminal, or Weave communication array.
Instantly a weave relay. The closest one is maybe an hour's travel at the slowest burn, which is usually how people go unless you're really in a hurry. She says we can be there within 10-15 minutes, depending.
Yeah. Let's just let's conserve our fuel, and then I'm just going to turn the ship and give it that little push to get.
While we're doing that, I'm going to go sit in the engineering bay, and I've got like 10 YouTube videos open on how to engineer 101.
You mean BooTube?
Yeah. So I've got like 10 videos playing, just like, all right, that part goes there. Got it.
No, this one's still YouTube. That's it. that hasn't changed.
YouTube stayed.
Yeah.
PewDiePie is still making videos. It's weird.
Still the #1 sub. It's ridiculous.
He's just a head in a jar at this point.
Totally Futurama.
All of it, half of his stuff is just him going at the fucking fish food.
But now he's openly Nazi, and everyone's kind of okay with it.
It's weird. No one knows. All right. But anyway, so you push the ship in a direction, and you start making your way towards basically a relay station, which you don't really need to get out or anything, but just being in proximity, it is probably way better for you to communicate with. So getting close to that won't be a problem. So in about an hour, you'll arrive if you're doing the slow burn. And yeah, not a problem. During that hour, what takes place? Clyde is looking over manuals and do-it-yourself tutorials on how to be engineer. Phoenix, what are you doing?
I'm just telling Leech every time he makes any type of minor adjustment, make it so.
Make it just sitting in the make it so. Okay, understood. Ox, what are you doing?
I'm gathering the lay of the land, walking around the ship pretty
Okay.
much across everywhere, seeing what rooms are available, what's vacant, what can we use as a hold, and so on.
Okay. Well, your ship does have one large cargo bay. It has 2 bays, of which one is occupied by your transport, currently the Entropy. The other one's empty, save for a few small crates and things like that. There is maintenance tunnels that kind of connect to and fro. You have the large meeting area here. Directly below and behind that would be the atrium where the tree is, which is kind of like a hollow space in the center. You're also assuming that there's some other system in there. You could give me knowledge of engineering or some sort of check to determine if you want
Sure.
what might be in there.
What's that check? I don't know what
You tell me.
Yeah.
What sort of knowledge would you use to figure that out?
For these crates and whatnot?
No, for what else the atrium is, systems wise.
Let's just do a nature check. That's still int.
Sure. Not exactly sure, but you can definitely tell that functioning room is not just an AI core. It's something else, and that tree, although it's interesting, definitely has other functions. You have fire control for your weapons. You have a large loading room for the spinal-mounted light rail cannon that sits basically in the center of your center top of your ship. There are there are loading bays for countermeasures, and you can see basically spots where weapon mounts would be, and like the doors to man the weapons if they were manned, or the control panels would be for, like, I don't know, if you put a missile system or a weapon system. You know, basically you can find those. Next to the like meeting area where you guys are at, there's a kitchen or kitchenette, as well as berthings for multiple people to sleep in, and the top floor, which basically all the rooms have been claimed by you guys. There are six rooms, pretty much, that are individuals. They would be things like captain's quarters, XO's quarters, you know, lieutenants, you know, of the boarding team, and it would be like the officers' quarters. Basically, you guys have those. Brian is in the 6th, by the way. But yeah, and then other than that, I haven't really decided the layout of the ship. I kind of want to let you guys have it, and it takes a little bit for me to piece those together. So you get the lay of the ship, though. Couple places where you can see, oh, we can add things here and there. A few places where you're like, there's definitely supposed to be something here that's been removed that you could tell that the UWC had pulled out of this ship. Maybe we're looking to replace it, but didn't get a chance to. So definitely things like that. One
Over the hour. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, one of the biggest things you notice is there's a huge open space in the engineering room. Usually that's not a thing that.
That's where I'm sprawled out right now.
Yeah, you have enough space in there to put another engine, almost, and there is not one, you know, installed. So it's just kind of a weird open space. Every space kind of vehicle you've ever been in, the engineering room's tight and purpose built. You know,
Yeah.
It's got the engines where you need them, just enough space to keep the things you need to keep them running. But yeah, very wide open space.
Assuming that Clyde will be installing the hyper, whatever the hell we got.
Yep.
And then me, while Leech is flying, me and Cal are trying to get the radio relay installed.
Okay. You can get all the base work for it. The radio relay actually needs to be installed outside the ship. There's a lot of antennas and things like that, but you can get all the inside parts done, not a problem. And as far as the hypercapacitor, it's literally just rewiring and setting it up, which is not too hard.
After the third time he says, make it so, I'm going to just start flipping him off as I'm reading my tablet.
Gotcha.
I'm going to start going over...
Make it so, number one.
Thanks. I am number one, aren't I?
Yeah. I'm going to start going over the documentation from the ship about what was its purpose, why was it built,
Okay.
that kind of stuff.
A lot of it is not really there. There's a lot of what you would see, you know, like if you've been on other naval ships before because of your time in the military. Being a medic and board, you get to read a little bit, so you do kind of poke around. A lot of the things like the history of this ship are not there because it's an experimental ship. There is no history. But you do know...
We are the history.
You are the history, yeah. You do know, reading the info, that you find that it is classified as a light scout or light reconnaissance corvette. It's designed to be fast, agile, get in and out, respond, and it has what they call mission payload loadouts. So it has basically modular loadouts that it loads depending on what mission capabilities it needs to have. Of which you have no idea what they are. They're not detailed in there. Things you do know about these, they're designed to work in teams of 3.
Okay.
You saw 3 crash ships. Makes sense. They all went down together. It says it is capable of independent operation, but works best in a team of 3 to cover its shortcomings, namely the lack of guns and its lack of lack of armor. It does say that like in the group, one ship is a communication ship, one is a weapons and shield ship that it actually flies around and takes hits for the other ships. It's basically built to do that. And the third is like some weird science vessel kind of. It's a experimental. You're reading it, you can look down and look at some of the stuff. It's what you can tell, the words are really technical and weird, but it basically sounds like it's some sort of beacon, like a scientific beacon. It does something that calls it basically just it marks things. Kind of weird. Maybe for another weapon system, not quite sure. It doesn't really say. But yeah. What other stuff are you looking to find? I can fill you in.
I would definitely be looking into finding out why the monocyte is required to fly it.
Okay. The reasoning it gives is it's weird. It's like you're reading like something from the perspective of someone who should already know a lot. So it's kind of just touched on in certain spots briefly. But what you do get from it is only pilots are supposed to be able to touch it. These ships are supposed to be unflyable if captured.
Gotcha.
It's basically, it seems like someone has to have this super rare disease or this super rare anomaly in their blood to be able to interface with the ship. Do read further on that the living tree, excuse me, what it's called?
Celestial site.
It's called Cal.
Or
Nice to him, respectful.
Yeah, the Urudu tree. An Urudu tree is required because that allows the demonocyte to interface with the rest of the ship.
I would also be looking at what is the purpose of the tree.
You get the base loadout of what the tree does. An Urudu tree is a weird tree that doesn't occur naturally in nature. It was basically laboratory grown.
Wait, are you telling me that a weird spaceship tree doesn't not happen in nature?
Right. Well, he's asking. Blowing your mind, right? The wood is able to withstand the vacuum and temperatures of space and re-entry and regenerate itself from said exposures, as well as it is incredibly conductive. The sap and stuff inside of it, which it can control, is basically like a liquid metal conduit that it can use to connect to things. So it's kind of interesting. Plus, it's entirely resistant to the demonocyte. It cannot be taken over by the demonocyte due to its celestiocytes inside of it. So it's immune to basically the demonocytes fucking with it.
I would also... Okay, then I would start looking into why... What are the healing properties that the tree possesses?
There's nothing inside there that mentions anything about that.
Alright. Does it have any data on the first mission that it did for the UWC? What was the purpose of it? Was it just to record or to provoke the amalgamation to come out, or?
Looking in there, you do see mission logs, but they are sealed.
Okay.
Thank God we're on our way to healing protocol.
I'm gonna make sure that I kind of bookmark those.
All right.
They have a little star next to them now.
Yeah, exactly. And then, fuck, what would I also be looking for? come back to me. I need a minute.
Okay.
Weird tree porn. That's what
Okay.
it's
So a lot of you make it to the relay station, and as you do, you get hailed by the relay station, and it says, Nightingale, this is relay station X56. Proceed in this general area. If you need to dock, you are cleared for docking at the Charlie 6 docking bay. Please state mission, or please state flight paths and where you're coming and going to, and use this frequency to contact us. Basic airport style talk, but
He's taxiing me.
yeah, basically. So you're allowed to kind of meander around the station for a bit. That's what it seems like.
I'm gonna look at you guys and be like, if we dock, you guys want to get those antennas up?
I'm gonna go to the duty free and see if we can find some rare whiskeys.
Hells yeah.
I'll go do that. I'm used to that kind of work.
All right.
Hey Cal. Oh wait, you can't help.
Nice joke, asshole.
All right. Then yeah, I would send the fact that we're gonna dock.
Okay.
Um,
Send the reply in. It's choppy and not something you're used to, but the guy's like, acknowledge. First time flying, just please be safe. Try not to run into anything.
I'm gonna try to put our way in as safe as I can land the ship into the dock.
Slow going. As you're going, you hear Corona basically say, "Would you like assistance?"
Fuck yes, and I'm gonna flick that tab.
Autopilot engaged. As she has.
Make it so, Corona.
Yeah. Yes,
Corona.
Captain. Corona takes the wheel and gets you guys into where you need to go. Basically, you can have her pilot. She has a +4, and she's proficient. That's about it.
Okay.
So
Alright.
you will eventually be better than her if you want to be a pilot, but she can do basic rudimentary stuff pretty much without fail. So, but
What's
continue.
the piloting?
And,
skill? Oh, wait.
It's wisdom.
It'd be, wisdom.
Mine's at a 7.
What was I gonna say? Their holograms, could those just move around all willy nilly, or could they only be in that tree room?
I don't know. Are you gonna
As
go
I'm
find out?
I'm gonna fucking as I'm outside, I'm gonna call out to Brachius and see if he fucking just.
There are display monitors in the room, and he can appear on them if you wish.
Okay, I'd just be like, can you materialize anywhere on the ship, or?
Any of the data ports or the simple projectors, I can. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna use my seed to connect my tablet to the thing, so I could basically have him watch me install this thing and basically tell me, no, that screw you, idiot, as I'm installing it.
Okay. Give me an installation check, which I'm gonna say is engineering.
All right. Bam. My
Okay.
best skill.
As you start doing this, he definitely says,
Kills the lot.
basically move that up higher. That is the wrong wire. Things along those natures. And he says, basically, he informs you, you don't need to wire everything into the ship. Just leave a nice path, and he can connect the systems.
Okay.
And as you're doing this, you're like, that's weird. This should go into the shit. This is a ground. And you can see growing out of the fucking metal where you're installing this are little white, pearly little tendrils of the tree that kind of wrap around each other, and they attempt to interface with the cords and the wires.
I kind of expected that to happen, surprisingly.
Yep. It seems that the tree grows into it and basically connects it to the rest of the AI control. So. All right.
I'm gonna look at Phoenix and say, if you're gonna go shopping, we need a couple environmental suits so we can go into space if needed.
Those are gonna be a bit pricey.
What are we talking?
The last time I talked, the guide price guide. He told me
On
they might be
Samsung?
a couple grand.
I'm
Okay.
gonna check for you while we're doing this, but continue.
Yeah, I was talking to John actually on our own time, and he said we might be able to get like one or two.
Okay.
You know, if we pool our money together, but we're not going to get like a full set. It's just
Gotcha.
too expensive right now, I think.
Okay.
Unless he finds out some information that he didn't realize, and they're like $20 a piece, and then
Yeah, right.
hey,
yeah.
it's for everybody.
Someone's having a closeout sale. Fuck yes.
Apparently
All
there's
the
a payless,
no.
there's a payless spacesuit. It's great.
This is my favorite ship on the space station.
Damn. Oh, I love it.
Well, if that's the case, then I would also be like, I would get closer and be like, we still have all those gold bars. I don't know what they
do.
how much they go for. But I'm assuming since they're pure gold, that would be kind of worth something.
I think the problem with having something like a bar of pure gold, especially that large,
They're only this big.
Yeah, they're like this big. The little tiny little melty gold.
what's each one of those worth?
We don't know.
Wait,
All right.
We didn't find a jeweler.
Well, most people aren't gonna be like, oh, you want to buy this thing? It'll cost you 1 bar of gold. Oh, hey, look, you guys have bars of gold. That's not like a normal currency. So that's like
It's very true.
we find a jeweler, we can be like, yo, dog, you want to buy these things from us?
Actually, in space, isn't it more common for them to trade with that, or is it still credits?
Probably credits.
Okay.
Credits don't
Think
weigh
difficult
anything.
Yeah, even the script we got or had, it's not super commonly used. That's like under the table type of money.
It's not commonly used. It's definitely.
That's like Bitcoin now is real money in the future. Like people don't use that shit.
Poor
They use
people
it because they
use
want to
it.
hide.
Yeah, poor people use it, or criminals have a tendency to use it, things like that.
Yeah.
So once we dock, that's when I would start to fix the, I guess, encryption on our communications array, so that we're more tight beaming.
Okay.
And I would send the message, insecure location, would like debriefing or mission update.
Okay. You get almost an immediate reply, being so close to a relay station. Slight delay, nothing crazy. Basically, it says, stand by. And it says, assemble your team. We will contact you within the hour.
Okay, so I'll send out a text to everybody, be like, be back in the ship in 30 minutes.
How far would I have been through installing this array by then?
About halfway.
Okay.
hmm
I'll be in there as soon as I can. You kind of told me to install this shit.
I'm actually, can I go out and help him?
You can. Are you going outside the ship to install it?
We are docked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go
Okay.
outside and help him.
All right, so you two start crawling around on the top of the ship. You guys notice as you're up there installing the antennas and stuff like that, you are getting a lot of looks. People are like, "Ooh, what is that? That is an interesting ship." But, you know, you're far enough away that you really can't hear them say anything. You can just see the looks. People are like, "Whoo, that's
Are you sure I can't hear them through space?
something." Nope, can't hear them at all. But it's definitely something that's like, oh, interesting.
We need to get moving.
Yeah, this
Don't wanna
is a
stay
really
too long.
fancy ship out in the middle
Yeah.
of fucking nowhere. We kind of stick out a little bit.
Yeah, I know. We have 2
Who-
torpedoes, so.
Who's on the station right now? Like,
Phoenix.
are people walking around in it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Phoenix
gonna
is-
ask if they got any paint or anything that could be used to modify the exterior to let me know.
That would be a lot of paint.
Oh, it depends on how you're using it.
Do you have some interesting way to use paint that I don't
He
know?
just wants to draw a giant purple penis on the side.
No, I want to fucking make I want to make our ship look like shit for a little while. Like just random paint everywhere, so that it looks worse.
So as you take a walk around the station itself, it's basically a fairly small common area as you walk into this place, built around 3 central things. One, a incredibly massive, self-sustaining, like hydroponics growing place that produces all sorts of things. 2, basically a space super Walmart. And 3, a motherfucking massive radio array. It's just huge. It's like crazy. Other than that, there are 2 concentric rings that go around this thing. One is a habitation ring, which you are not on currently. That's pretty much where people live, the people who run this station. And then basically the docking ring up top, which has several little docking bays, which are a gathering area. After you dock into the port, it's a gathering area for that dock. A small concourse which leads to like basically strip malls and stuff like that of peddlers trying to, sell stuff like that, as well as a few little normal shops you would see, like a place you would buy gas or a place you would, do like that. And then basically shuttles that take you down to the super Walmart. So where are you going then? After you get this layout.
I wouldn't leave the ship. I'm really hesitant to really go anywhere right now. As much as I would love to go on a shopping binge, I'm just gonna stay kind of by the hangar doors and just stand there, standard like
Like a
bouncer
sentry.
post. Yeah.
Okay. As you do that, you can kind of see, you get the people watch. You also catch some people looking at your ship like, I never seen just that kind of bewilderment on people's face. They're just like, this is new. It's not something you see every day. You're not sure if this station gets a lot of ships in and out to it, regardless, but it's definitely on everyone's faces that walks by.
What is the current color of our ship?
It is like a white-gray.
Okay.
And does it look like super nice? Like
Not really. It looks kind of... It's still got scorch marks from atmospheric entry that it wasn't ready for, as well as, exterior welds and things like that haven't been fully buffed out because this ship was fucked up and put back together from the corpses.
okay,
of
so
two
our
other
ship
ships.
doesn't look fancy though.
Doesn't-
so cancel my pay.
It doesn't look too crazy. Like, it doesn't look super clean. It looks like
Okay.
it looks like a bunch of really clean parts strapped onto something that you could tell was probably in a little bit of a hubbub, pretty much.
Cancel the paint order then. I misunderstood.
Fair enough. But yeah, Ox, you're sitting out there, just people watching, guarding the door then, huh? Okay.
What are you doing, Phoenix?
I'm out spacesuit shopping
Well,
and rare whiskey shopping.
all right. So as you make your way into the basically space Walmart, it's basically just called the market. There is an absolute absence of any military there. You see a few law enforcement style individuals kind of posted at a few spots like kiosks or like main thoroughfares, bulkhead doors, things like that. But for the most part, it is just a cyberpunk tech city in the middle of space where there is all sorts of stuff for sale. You can find whiskeys, not a problem. You're not sure as to the validity of some of them, but they are in the cases that you would understand them to come in.
Spacesuit's gonna take priority. I can't buy whiskeys until I can afford the spacesuits.
Fair enough.
So unless the spacesuits are ridiculously expensive and I can't afford them, then I'll go back to the whiskeys. But if I can afford the spacesuits, I gotta get those first.
Gotcha. All right.
By spacesuits, do you mean ones that can like take pressure from like open space, right?
So you
Yeah,
can do a
environmental
spacewalk
suits.
if you need to.
Oh, did those not just come like stock?
No.
No.
I'd figure that'd just be something you'd have
Nope.
on a ship so you can do maintenance. So how are we? Okay.
We're docked. That's
You're
why
in
Oh, I
you're in
didn't
a
realize-
docking.
okay.
Yeah.
I imagine we're out in open space and a fucking hatch came in and did that
We
thing.
don't have an umbilicus.
We're docked. Okay, so we're in a thing
Yep,
that
closed
has
in a
gravity.
in a hangar, pretty much.
Okay, cool. Misunderstood. Got
Yep.
it now.
No worries.
Now I understand why you're like, we need these space dudes. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. You can find there are basically 3 styles of spacesuit, Phoenix, when you're out. There's Mark 1 life suits, which are literally what you would imagine a spacesuit to be. It's literally like a jumpsuit with a backpack that allows for breathing and temperature regulation. Basically work coveralls. It's what standard fare you would expect a worker to wear. Absolutely, positively cannot wear anything else while you're wearing it. You gotta basically wear skivvies. So no armor, no storage capacity, nothing like that.
Would Ox be able to wear this, or would I need to buy a separate one for somebody Ox's size versus everyone else's size?
No, one size fits all.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it's spandex.
It expands, yes. But yeah, offers very little in the way of catastrophic protection other than like a patch kit, which it has like a few patches inside.
And how much is this kit?
Those base suits, 200.
100?
200.
200 each.
Mm-hmm. There are 2. There's the Mark II, and then there is the Exos, like the exosuit, which is basically a mech. Very small, light mech. Think like the loaders from Aliens.
I'll be honest. As soon as I see the price of the Mark I, I don't even look at the rest.
Okay, fair enough.
I will grab 1.
I can send you 200 credits if you text me.
Same.
I will pick up 3
Okay.
of the suits.
All right. Basically, yeah, they come in a little like crate. Like the guy asked, "Do you need help to your ship, man?"
No, thank you.
They're always
I got
essays.
this.
He says, "Well, what?"
The Red Hand.
Yeah, they're dead.
Yeah.
Oh, they were such good friends.
Did that just click? Oh my god.
Yeah, I read that last week. They're all gone.
You should-
Everyone we know.
You should
died.
see. You should ask Ox what he
Those
sent
poor
me.
little girls. They might have survived.
Who knows?
Well, Mexican hackers. I think they had a fallout shelter.
That's not Ox's girls. That's Leech's girlfriends.
I know.
Well,
They
I
were
think
my bros.
somebody said Ox's girls. They
No,
had nothing
Ox
to do
had
with that.
Gee.
Yeah.
He's a leader.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Gee made him say G.
You'll have to forgive me. I was mostly drunk last week, and today this is my 3rd, so I'm getting there.
You better slow it down, motherfucker. All right. So,
So yeah, got the 3 suits, and now I'm going to the whiskeys.
okay. And whatever the prices of whiskeys are, you can purchase whiskey. Then shouldn't be a
Okay.
problem. There's not any place that is like blowing your hair back, like, oh, these are some fine connoisseurs of whiskey up in. No,
That's
it's
Walmart whiskey.
It's a bunch of like
Called Black Velvet.
space rat kids selling things that they probably don't know anything about, but they know that these sell better and this sells worse, so they market as best they can. But you can purchase any sort of spirit you wish there. Okay. Just make sure you look up the price for a bottle of booze or whatever, and then buy accordingly. But yeah, 30 minutes go by. You get your things. How are you getting these crated spacesuits back to the ship?
I will I'm imagining they're like not super massive.
They're
You
coming
said
in.
they come in crates.
Coming in basically like.
Well, crate or fucking crate. Like what kind of crate?
Well, funny you should ask. Picture a moving box. Basically what it is.
Oh, say again.
A moving box.
Moving box.
So a moving box, or a moving box.
Standard. What is it?
Give me some dimensions.
2 foot by 2 foot by 3
like a
foot
medium.
box. Yeah, a medium
Yeah,
U-Haul
medium.
box.
All right.
So you could barely carry all three. It'd be like over your head.
Yeah,
Like the top of it would just be like balanced against the fucking.
I tell the guy I need them sent to my ship.
He's like, oh, okay.
I was assuming they were like, a fucking clothes on a goddamn hanger type of thing.
Because you keep space shoots on a hanger. No, it
I mean,
has.
they might
As,
actually once
as
they're in
a-
If there's space hangers, you do.
maybe.
Yeah.
You don't want
possibly.
wrinkles,
God.
John.
Fucking goddamn looks like a goddamn wrinkle bomb went off in my closet. No, you gotta imagine they have a rigid helmet, a life support backpack, and then like solid ring locks on all the connection stuff. So kind of hefty. But yeah, no, he says, yeah, we'll deliver it for you, man. Not a problem. He's like, delivery fees $35.
Okay.
Right? Charges you an extra $35, and you can see a couple squirrely little dudes come out with some coveralls and what looks to be like a loader, and they load up your crates and carry them back to you. Throw your box of whiskeys on top, and you're away back to the ship. Passing all manner of individuals on this little space station. But as you do, you get almost to the ship, and you bump into another group of individuals that look like they just got off of a ship, and you can hear them talking like, man, you see that fucking weird ass ship in there? And you're like, yeah, I've never seen anything like it. It's all white and weird color, looks like it's been through shit and back. But you do hear them talking, and it does, their descriptions of what they're talking about remind you of the Nightingale.
I mean, I hate to interrupt, guys, but what do you think it is? I saw that ship there, and it just strikes me as weird,
Stop them, they look at you, they're like, I don't know, man, some kind of like kit ship gone wrong. And he's like, I don't know, it looks like pirates to me. The other guy's like, has a
You
weird...
think they're dangerous?
Man, if you're coming to this space station, everything's fucking dangerous, kid.
Yeah, okay, you got me there. You don't think they're like dangerous? Like there's dangerous, and then there's a.
As long as they're not from that gene seed company or whatever the fuck, they won't be that bad.
Understandable. Alright, so I can cart my stuff off back to the ship.
Alright.
Even if they watch me walk directly to it, I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
you're like, "La-da-da-da-da." Just fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, like, stroll up into that bit. Like, alright, so a lot of you are back at the ship. Ox, you see Phoenix come back with a couple crates worth of gear. Everybody's up on the ship and stowed. Your antennas are mostly installed, probably about another hour's worth of work to get everything bolted on.
Good.
And
We don't need
good
text
stuff.
that much. Let's ship off out of here.
But
You can just hold on.
You guys are in the ship. What do you do?
I perch my tablet with the operator jack still plugged in on near a wall at the dining room table kind of deal.
Okay.
Just kind of sit there, wait for the response.
All right. Okay. 30 minutes go by. You get a ping from them that says, basically start conference call kind of thing. Turn it on, and you see a holographic projection of the HP logo, stuff like that, kind of kick into gear, and you can see no forms or shapes of people or anything like that, but you can hear what sounds like open comms, and you can just hear a distorted voice kind of say, "Are you in a secure location?"
Secure enough, yeah. We're on our ship.
As
Doc.
secure as it's gonna get.
Excellent. We are in the dark as to the full goings-on of the incident in Emory. As you were there, could you give us a brief rundown of what happened?
Sure. How about I do you one better? I can give you video footage.
Acknowledged. video footage would be actually preferred. We didn't know if
Just
you
out
had
of
any.
curiosity, did you send another group out there?
How would he reply to that?
I would get it, if you want to send another group just as like an insurance policy to make sure you get it. But I think if you did, you should let us know next time.
He says, no other operatives were sent in to secure the ship. We did have operatives in a long mission stationed, siphoning data information from the UWC salvage site. They are actually the ones who told us the ships were there and allowed us to give you the mission to actually steal the ship. He says, on operational level, they do not hold a candle to your skills.
It doesn't sound like Plasmid Icarus, does it?
You've never really heard Plasmid Icarus's voice, really? You've just heard simulated computery voices.
Okay.
Kind of sounds like the same computerized voice. It could be Plasmid Icarus. You could ask, but usually he says, hello. He's a little bit more cordial. This one seems to be down to business. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So with that in mind, then I will tag the videos that have our biochip signatures attached to them, and then I will upload.
Wait,
What?
what's your username?
You're asking the guy on the other end.
Yeah.
I have to flip through my notes.
Damn you asking an NPC his name?
Well, he made a certain point to make sure that we
Yeah.
did not think this was Plasmid Icarus, the motherfucker we've been dealing with. Now it's just some guy to me. He's not our guy.
Right. That's why I asked, because it was like, usually John seems a little bit more, I don't know, there's just more like
he's more
socialness.
he wants to work with you, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a handler. This guy whoever this is, if it is Plasmid Icarus, he's in a weird mood. Otherwise, it definitely sounds different. But he replies with vaunted guard.
I know this is going to sound really fucked up. Have our normal handler call us. And I unplug it. I turn it off.
Okay. And this is before uploading
I sent
the
it, yeah.
stuff. Okay. The screen goes dead.
I'm sorry, but we're in the middle of nowhere, and this could be just plugged into anything.
It's very true.
We're not as secure. We're not secure.
No, the security was in that little box. All the security's in that. That's a secure thing straight to them. I mean, I don't know all this hacker stuff, but they sure as hell do. I don't think it was going to be
out there though.
Do you guys trust it?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, at this point, everyone's out to fuck us anyway, so what's the difference between them or somebody else?
Well, giving them information that they could use against us.
Maybe.
It's true. With that in mind, then, I'm going to plug the operator jack back in and be like, the only way we're going to know he's going to talk to us is by literally sending us a ping. But with that in mind, I'm going to tell Corona, hey, Corona, let's undock. Let's go free floating.
Sending request to tower. You can hear there's muted, but you could see there's correspondence coming back and forth. A few minutes later, it says docking procedures undocking procedures initiated. You can feel the ship kind of list to the side and then out and away from the station.
Okay. And then I'm going to just say, burn us a good 50 miles from here.
As you wish. And the ship begins to move.
And then I'm just looking at Phoenix and being like, I see what you're putting down. Give us a trajectory that's away from civilization. If we have to, we can burn.
Well, remember, we came here so we could talk to them in the first place. We're waiting for our other handler to contact us. We move
Right.
away from this place, they can't do that.
It's 1,000 miles
50
range.
Yeah, 50
miles
is
away from the
easy.
station.
Okay, I'm just verifying.
I'm turning
that we
our ship
understand.
so that if we have to, we go that way.
Well, I didn't know whether our communications was based on us actually being physically in the
No, we
relay,
got-
or if
got
we could
good
beam to the relay and then have that go out. I don't know how the
That's-
tech works.
What I believe it is. It's like a cell tower is virtually what I believe the station's like.
Yeah.
Pretty much, it's a space cell phone tower.
Okay.
And I'm just getting our ship in a situation that if all of a sudden a fleet arrives, we're like, fuck you, and run.
Gotcha.
Good thing I already installed the afterburners.
You mean
Alright.
the hyper...
Yeah, whatever.
link,
the fuck they are.
whatever the
Yeah.
fuck's...
Capacitor. Hypercapacitor.
Flux capacitor. Got it.
Hyperlink, whatever the fucks. Get that shit right, Ox. Technical term.
We're going plat.
We're going plaid, he says.
It's gone to ludicrous speed.
I love it. Lone Star. No. Anyway.
That's the point where you go from suck to blow.
You make it 50 fucking miles away from the station and point your ship in a direction away from civilization as requested.
Okay.
What do you do?
So,
See if we get a call back.
while we wait, may I suggest that we get a lay of what we got going? Can we ask the ship how much fuel we have? Or, because as far as I know, we're just in a ride that we just got the keys to, but don't know a damn thing about it.
Hey, AI, how long do we have operational time before any refueling of fuel or food commodities?
15 seconds.
Oh, shit.
No, oh shit! No, we never checked, did we? No. You hear Ephemeral come on, and he basically says, "Operational power plant, lifespan expected lifespan, 27 years. Coolant,
Years?
27 years.
27 years of power can be generated from the ship." He says, "Coolant life expectancy, 3 weeks." He says. Operating at 97% efficiency currently. He says, with current trends in engineering or from engine output, expect 3 to 4 months of life for your coolant. I.e., your spaceship doesn't need gas. It burns a nuclear coal, like a power
Right.
plant, and it's not the fuel rods you're replacing, it's the coolant that keeps the fuel rods from going nuclear, basically. So your coolant basically has about 3 months of time. If you keep on what you're doing, you start getting into space battles or like burning hard and long and stuff like that, you're going to burn coolant faster. But other than that, about
What
3
about the
months.
food?
I always
It doesn't have
burn
any-
hard and long.
It doesn't have any loadout of the food. That would be something that the biological people inside would probably do, unless you tell it to start counting the food, which it hasn't had anyone tell it needed to do before. So
Okay.
You gotta think all the
I
food
think-
that is on this was from our freighter.
Yeah.
Well,
Probably.
I just bought it like
Mhm.
less than
Well, it's
apparently
been
3
3
I
weeks
didn't know
ago.
if it had. Yeah, it's been 3 weeks. I don't know if this already had stuff on it.
No,
No.
we had the rations. That's what what's his name cooked. No,
Okay.
that was on our other ship. That
Yeah.
was
you do
this
have
ship has
food.
nothing.
Yeah, we have food.
This ship doesn't have anything, but you
We're
do have
dead.
your you do have your entirety of your transport ship, which is fully decked, fully repaired, and has stuff on there. I'm assuming things from there are being brought in here currently. So
Yeah.
you have a little bit of food,
So that'll be the first thing we run out of. Then is food.
more than likely.
First of all, I guess we're all just calling out into the air.
Hello, computer.
Ship, how do we designate you?
You can call us by our names. Ox. Corona
Fair
handles the navigational and life
That's where
support
it's
questions.
the Brachiosaurus female and Corona.
Brachius
Yeah.
is our weapons computer, and Femoral is our engineering.
Thank you. Femoral, what is your coolant? Easily replaceable.
All standard coolant models are usable on this vessel. basically he can pretty much take any kind and make it work. Very universal military kind of build.
Alright.
I'm not breaking it down. Basically,
fine.
the coolant.
I just
is
wanted to make
coolant.
sure we didn't have to, mine ice out of fucking comets just to make sure we have the right coolant,
Mhm.
It would work.
It might work, yeah. But yeah. But he gives you a systems breakdown of what he has available and what can be used. Basically, any aftermarket, synthesized coolant will work. He can use just plain water, or he can you guys can do vent
Gotta
cycles.
be the green stuff, the brown stuff, the orange stuff.
Right, yeah.
Which
Alright.
one,
While we're waiting for a call back, I'm gonna go check our food stuff, see how many weeks we got left to determine where the fuck we need to go next.
You have foodstuffs appropriate to the kitchen you had on your thing.
Well, considering we were
I want to
past
say that I purchased like a week's worth of supplies, 2 weeks worth of supplies for that shit.
When we bought the box set, it was 30 days worth of food.
There you go.
And
Nah, but most of that
And
time,
we were
luckily, we
unconscious
were
for
passed
3
out.
weeks.
Yeah, we were
so
passed
we were
out.
we were all
We were
wrecked
on
the
IV
fuck out on
drips,
that
though.
one.
I would say
So-
you have about 3 weeks of food left.
Okay, see,
Should be good.
that's what I need to know.
So we
Almost-
might need
almost
some
nothing
medical
was
supplies.
used. Medical supplies and food and stuff like that, yeah.
Well, we need fucking money, which we have none of.
Well, hopefully Helix pays us for acquiring this data for us. I mean, we got
They
it.
already did.
Yeah, welcome
guess-
to your payment that you're living on.
Well, not only that, but you remember when we were in the safe house and there was the bag that was under the floor that
Oh,
we
yeah,
put the
that's-
head box in? That was all our
Right.
payment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
which we burned
my-
through.
Well, so I don't know I've been out here a little bit longer. We could either reach out to them. We could try to reach out to our mercenary buddy, because it sounds like he's on hard times. He could probably use a team like us. Otherwise, there are giant stations that are basically not UWC controlled, where we'd probably be able to find work there.
Which is currently where we are.
Well, this
We're
is
just-
what. Well, this is like a relay, right? I'm
Mhm.
wondering if we have hate to use this as a reference, but the Old Republic where they had like the giant space citadels. Like, are there like neutral things like that?
There's places like that. Maybe not as big, but there are space stations which people live on and are big enough that you would consider them citadel style.
Yeah.
So there's not any that are like moon size. There's nothing crazy that big, but yeah, multiple
so we could hit
aircraft
something
carriers.
Like that.
Yeah, there's
That's no
tons
small
of
moon.
shit.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options. But as you're sitting there, kind of taking inventory, you see a ping from your tablet, Leech.
Okay. Open it up.
You can see the same HP thing spin up, and as things go by, you can hear the same robotic voice. It says, do you feel more secure now?
Look at pretty much the last of us that are hanging out still and be like, is this Plasmid Icarus?
This is Vaunted Guard. I have Plasmid Icarus, your handler, on the line. Per protocols, you must go through the debrief before you are allowed to speak to your handler again to determine your operational status.
Understood. I'll look over at Phoenix and be like, your call, bro. We either burn the bridge or we take a step of faith.
If I
My
can
vote's we fucking
hear-
talk to this guy.
The only thing, if I can just hear Plasmid Icarus and I know we can trust this line right now, we'll give you everything.
They want the debrief first
Yeah.
before we talk to Ick.
Yeah, but they could just be anybody that says, yeah, we need the information before you can talk to the guy who's going to make you feel safe to give us the information.
They could also.
I got an idea.
Guy that they just made a recording of as well. If we're going down all the conspiracy theory routes.
Listen. May I suggest a 200 cred deposit in whatever stick that we have, and if you're willing to float cash, then we're willing to trust.
So, you went. How much was it that you
It's
asked?
200 credits. yeah.
Just 200 credits?
See, just 200,000.
No, I didn't say 200,000.
You can hear on the line a little shuffle. Operational budget. Approved. Check your count.
Alright, I'll check. Well, whatever. Just put in your cash stick, Leech. Make sure you get it.
It's already plugged into my cash stick, so I'll
okay.
just check to see if
Your
the money
cash
came.
stick has no money on it. You're like, no, you didn't get paid. You don't have like looking at your bank account thing. It's like not a statement that says, fucking secret organization plus 200 to Nick. Nothing like that. So you're checking your thing? Is that what you're checking?
Whatever one's plugged into the unit, right? Because they can't just access them from anywhere. It has to be plugged into the unit.
As you guys are sitting there, he says, it's on your credit card. Black Ops
Yeah.
budgets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You
I was gonna-
daft morons.
So you paid 200 of our debt off?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Alright.
I'm keeping track of that. All right.
I trust them.
$200. That's all it needs to buy his trust. Got it.
No, it's 200 bucks. It's 200 bucks on the black credit card that they issued us.
Yeah, $200 on a credit card that not many people can figure out how to fucking. Yeah.
No one could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Give them the goddamn information. Let's go.
So I'll
Yeah,
upload
take
the
it forever.
links.
Fucking wow, guys. God
I
damn.
forgot about the credit card. I'm sorry.
No, as soon as you were like, "This is not Plasmid Icarus. This is some other guy." No, no.
We're a little
trust.
paranoid this campaign.
Yeah, this
And,
conspiracy
it's
theory can't happen.
very
Plas-
noticeable.
Plasmid Icarus, or get the fuck out.
Well, it was funny because like you guys all started arguing, and I'm looking at the sheet that says credit card debt 9,500, and I was just like, "You can use this. They can pay that off."
So,
Alright. So yeah, I upload the videos.
you upload the videos, and he says, receiving files. Now, would you care to give us your version of what happened before we see the videos? Just a bullet point brief that I can take to my
Fucking-
superior, or to our superiors.
Shit got crazy. Next bullet point. People
I step
died.
up.
Next bullet point. I shot people. Next bullet point. Ex-boyfriend's involved. I don't know how. I don't know why.
I walk up and I start yelling at it like a southern dude over NASCAR. Like I start describing our mission like that.
Like a fucking NASCAR. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So now that
Like,
two of the peanut gallery is gone, I basically give long bullet points like we got there. There was another team there. They loaded up a bunch of stuff. There was what was her code name?
Harlequin.
Yeah, Harlequin and a guy, and they had
War
two nuclear
God.
It
warheads.
was Jester and Harlequin.
Nope. Harlequin
No,
and War God.
No Jester. It was
War
just-
God,
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. They had two warheads. We threw one back. I think we still have one.
You are in possession of a nuclear device.
Yes.
Suggest
Go ahead.
he's an operational. He says you're in possession of a nuclear device that is not under your that was not yours to begin with. Operational courtesy to you. You should remove that from your ship as soon as
It's
possible.
been 3 weeks.
Agreed. However, we don't know what sort of remote systems are on it, and We would like to protect our assets.
Do
That
we
makes
have in our?
I'm just gonna
like,
start walking towards Wolf's room and be like, "Get out of my way!" And I'm gonna grab the box.
He
and I'm
falls
gonna
over.
throw it in the airlock.
Let's get farther past out of the
This is
space
a-
station than just
Hold on,
space it.
hold on. This is a Chad question. Is it like outside airlock door, airlock, or is it like? What's the airlock look like? Could we like open
there's
a
a 5
door?
foot gap. Yeah.
You just hit the door and the iris open.
Because you got to decompress everything too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like there's the outside door, the airlock, and then an inner door.
Yeah,
That's how they have to work.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey man, this might be you know what? Normally ships run on just engines. This one's got a fucking tree in it, so
Yeah.
weird shit's
Right?
happening. Okay.
Exactly.
Not if it's a space door, Greg.
It's a space tree too.
Fucking
It's got
space
3 rings
door.
around it, like the Jetsons. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's you know, that's the way it works. But all right, but yeah, no. He basically says, so nuclear device on board. Shit went crazy. Basically gives a pretty accurate rundown of all the things
And
he
then
said.
the Gene World Mjolnir.
Corporations were
everything.
involved.
Yep.
He says,
That we got 2 of the Mjolnir guys. We don't know if they technically are Mjolnir anymore, but they're on the ship because they got on the fucking ship when we left.
Bros.
he
Yeah,
says,
you know him. Brian, he's British.
Brian.
Can't trust him. British.
All the British people are bad guys. We all know that.
He's supposed to be. I thought he was supposed to be South African.
He
Oh, he's British.
He's
looks.
Australian.
You hear the
He's
the-
British. Brian.
Shut up!
John just does
Shut up!
an
I'm
Australian
trying to
accent.
talk. You can't talk over the DM. DM talks now. You're killing me. No, you're good. I'm just fucking with you. You hear the guy on the end of the line say, "You have 2 unauthorized individuals on your ship."
Well, authorized by us.
He says, "Are they able to hear this conversation?"
Not at the moment, no.
Understood.
Wait, I look around. Are they here?
Brian's over in the corner eating a fucking apple. No. This is quite an interesting story, friend.
Steve.
Neither of them are here. You know, Brian has been kind of quiet, kind of contemplating what he wants to do, and number 4 is basically still just messing around with Brian. So,
Personal question: is number 4 the one that's getting into it with Trey?
no, that was number 5.
5.
Okay. Then no, none of them are privy to this conversation, nor will they be privy to these conversations.
I know Brian's a good guy. We might keep him on.
Understood.
I'm considering even making Tex not privy to these conversations anymore either.
Are they aware of our presence?
No. Wait. Are they?
No,
No, they're
No,
not.
yeah, no, they don't. They don't know anything about it. I was just trying to make sure. I'm not sure because I'm
It's always-
stupid and I say things that I shouldn't say sometimes.
It's always the pretty ones.
So he says, "All right. Debrief sounds good." He says, "Key points for me: nuclear device on board, 2 individuals not indoctrinated into the Helix protocol on board, but are secure and not compromising your operational status." He says, "Acquaintance of Ox noted at site." He says, "Full video feeds from all 5 members of your team inputted." He says, "We will go over those and see what we can see." He says, "Confirmation of Diadem individuals, codenamed Jester, codenamed Warhawk or War God, present at the site." He says, "Involvement in multiple engagements." He says, "After all this, you have the ship, and it's under your control." Correct. We have operational loadout of the ship and schematics that we are going over now currently. He says, "Do you feel like there's anything else you need to tell us, or anything that you might need to bring up to our attention before we consider your operational status?"
I actually got a question for you. Do you guys see? I mean, you guys are the deep investigators on the ship. Why the fuck were they fighting UWC?
Unknown at this time. We have reason to believe that the UWC contains factions in it could be a separate faction of UWC. He says Diadem also being involved complicates things. If they are being puppeted by the UWC, that's disheartening. But if the UWC is unaware of Diadem, confirms several theories.
So basically, a small faction of the UWC is after us, not the entirety of it, at least as of right now.
As of right now, your identities are wiped clean. Your biochips will not scan as members of the UWC, and we have no knowledge of any hunter teams looking for you, or military intelligence or police.
Alright, so as long as Leech keeps the space aids under control, we'll be fine.
He says, outside of Kethra, there are no known cases of V fever.
Just out of curiosity, the tree in here kind of absorbed a portion of our friend. Do you think there is or ever will be a way he can separate from ship?
He told us he would.
Yeah, he said he would.
He said
He will
said
grow up
8
Karen
months.
and then leave as a beautiful butterfly.
I don't remember. I might have been drunk last week.
You were. In
You
8
were.
months, it's gonna detach from him. It's keeping him alive right now. Healing.
Well, then I don't ask him that because I probably knew it already. So shut the fuck up, John. All right,
Swear to God.
time for another drink.
Yeah, about that. Let's slow that down. You non-remembering fuck. Oh my God.
Bad touch is drinking again.
It's late as fuck. I'm already ready for bed.
It's only
Alright.
11:15.
It's not
No.
late. It's not
No,
late.
it's not, Nick.
All right.
For you, it's not. Anyways, let's keep.
Yeah, I was like, regardless, it's semantics. So, he says, understood. We will be in touch with your operational status. As of right now, consider yourselves under investigation. We will send you a reply with what you need to know.
Okay.
And that's where the termination of that signal goes, and it's no longer active.
Okay.
I think that was bad.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, the simple fact that he said we would be able to talk to our guy, we didn't get to talk to our guy.
Never said you would be able to talk to your guy.
No,
Yeah, you did.
No, he did not.
you really didn't.
He said get the debrief and then you can talk to him.
After we got clearance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I didn't understand exactly what he said then.
I know. It's all right.
Yeah, we have to get cleared first, and that's why we had to do the debrief. And that's why Ox was like, hey, pay us the money to prove that you're someone that we can trust. And they paid the bill. And then we're like, okay, cool. And then we gave him the debrief. And now we're waiting for clearance. Moving forward. I've got the nuke in the airlock. I'm going to direct Corona to burn us another 100 miles away. And then we're going to let the vacuum of space suck it out.
Okay. 150 miles from the station, you undo
That is a
no,
bad
let's
idea.
do that in the middle of fucking nowhere, not near the
Yeah.
fucking space station. Thank you.
150 miles
150
from the
miles in
station.
space?
Yeah, good.
Well, or if we're gonna do it from this distance, why don't we get far
Okay,
enough and then fucking
stop.
detonate it?
Stop. Captain of the ship, I might be a fucking drunk one, but you know what? We're going about 1,000 miles that way.
Okay.
That's
1,000.
where we're dropping that bitch off.
So 150 changes to 1,000. Okay.
Fucking 150 is nowhere near enough.
I'm going to look at you and be like, why?
Because this is a goddamn nuclear device.
Do you understand how nuclear... I'm going to just kind of like hold my head and be like, you were once a soldier. Okay? Nuclear blasts don't go for thousands of miles.
But they
Have
definitely
you
go
used
over
the
150
space nuclear
miles.
blast, though.
It's in space, though. It hasn't
It's a
gone
space
off yet.
nuke now. We don't know what it does.
I'm dropping it
Got
away
3
from
little
everything.
rings around it.
It's got 2 antennas, 3 rings on each antenna. That's dangerous. That's 6
Dangerous
rings,
as fuck,
dude.
man. So many rings. The rings. Think of the rings, Leech.
I still think it would be safer to drop it off literally in the middle of nowhere as opposed to 150 miles where ships will be driving quite often.
No, that was literally why we turned and burned away from the station in a direction that no one would travel to. That's why I did it that way.
It's a space station, right? Here's a space station. People will fly in from every fucking direction to the space station.
Think of it like a highway, dude. There's pathways that people travel. Point A to point B. Okay?
How does no sensors
we didn't
can
just
pick up
go
something
off.
how
We
far
went that
away?
way.
When you mention sensor, you do know that sensors have about 1,000-mile range.
Yeah, so someone could see it from the space station if we were to
Wait.
drop it within 100.
Is what I'm actually curious about this. Is what he's saying accurate that there are roadways in space that people take?
Transit lines?
Shipping
There's like
routes, yeah.
shipping routes, transit lines, things like that people know are safe because they're kept clear.
Because if you go off the shipping lanes, it's
then you
not
get pirated.
Space.
Yeah.
It's
Space. It
So,
is
yeah.
big and empty.
All right.
Oh shit!
All right,
Bad guy
stop,
there.
stop,
Fucking drive.
stop. Think of it as the ocean with a third axis. Basically, whatever you want to do. They still have shipping lanes on the ocean because they know those routes are safe. They still have places where they go. All of space travel is like commercialized space travel, shit like that is going to break down into. We know where a trajectory is. Most trajectories are around the same tunnel or corridor. If you go off route, there's a reason that you are going off route. So, I mean, that doesn't stop people from going off route, but there are generally accepted lanes of travel. But
Well, plus you have to keep in mind, so spaceships do break down just like everything
All right.
else.
If he wants to blow up the space station, that's fine. He can do that.
Let's just shut Chad the fuck up. We go 1,000 miles on top of the 150.
oh, you're already 1150 away now. He already called
Perfect.
it.
Okay, cool. We vent the goddamn nuke into space. Shut the fuck up, Chad.
I turn the ship around so we're only 150 miles away from the fucking thing, and that's where we let it go.
Oh my god. Anyway,
So, you vent a nuclear
my
bomb.
dick's bigger.
out-
No, your dick's bigger.
You vent a nuclear bomb out into the black abyss of space. You're kind of parked right next to a nuclear bomb now.
We fucking book it away from it.
Vroom,
I want to get a
vroom.
safe distance away and then shoot it.
With
We have some cannons, correct?
you have a cannon.
We have a single cannon.
Okay. Then with
And
the
that
cannon?
has a 6,000 mile radius or something like that, wasn't it?
600, I believe. Could be wrong.
I thought it was.
It's pretty long. It's a railgun, so the Nightingales. Let's see. One experimental light range can 6,000 feet to 1,800 feet. So not miles, but feet.
Either one of those.
So you
would
want
be
to
a
shoot it
blast
within 2
radius.
miles
no,
of
no,
the
no,
blast?
I don't.
Let's do it.
I didn't know
I'm
what
down.
our range was.
Fucking no balls. Won't do it.
John, you know what happened last time you said that to me?
Well,
People got
I
offended.
figure that's a technical range, but on a stationary object that we know where it is, we could theoretically go farther away and shoot at it because there's nothing to
You could.
derail its path, right?
But we don't have
Technically in
sensors to see it.
space. Technically in space, nothing is static. And yeah, we don't have sensors because we didn't want sensors apparently, because those were bad to get. Instead, we got radio.
Anyway,
Come on,
So we just leave it there, then.
Oh, radio. Dun, 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 dun. So is that done? Are we finally did it blow
we're
up?
done. Yeah.
Did you?
Well, we just left it there. We're
you
not. gonna
just
shoot
left
it.
it there.
Left it there.
Okay.
Oh, we just
Can't
left
shoot
it
it.
there. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. What's the worst that could possibly happen? Awesome.
Not our problem.
Hey, look, we just nuked 18 million people. I don't think any of us should really give a fuck about some random dude picking up a nuke.
I'm
Okay?
not arguing. Not arguing.
Before we let it go, I wiped my prints off the nuclear bomb.
Hey, no, we could have primed it, huh? We could have probably set a timer on it. That would have been the smarter thing to do.
No, because then that's a beacon in space of saying, hey, there's a bomb that just went off over here.
So?
So, amidst all that beautiful interaction.
What a beautiful moment.
I'm still not used to this whole disembodied voice thing, so I'll look around and be like, Corona, do you mind if I ask you another question?
Not at all.
Now, we saw that there were at least 3 of your type of ship. Are there more of you, or do you have other brothers or sisters that are out there?
I don't understand the question. Are there more of my program, or are there more of our ship?
Are you not one and the same?
No. I am not the ship. I am an operating part of the ship. Think of me as an electronically thinking crew member.
So then, other than your sister that's missing, are there more entities like you?
Yes. Each one of these classes of ships would have a full complement of a quad intelligence on board.
And how many classes of these ships do you know of?
The fingers crossed.
What do you mean by classes? Like, how many types of these ships are there?
Well, I don't know. She said we're in this kind of class of ship, so that's kind of what I'm rolling with.
She says, this is an experimental class, but they are designed to hunt in 3s. So each ship class could be diversified into 3 very different classes. A missile corvette, a point defense corvette. She just lists off several naval styles of ships. She says, so it depends on what the mission dictates would determine the class of vessel we would be under. All of us would be corvette sized. She says, all of us would have the same 4 intelligence inside the ships as well.
So it would be replications of yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
So if we were to find another ship, we could find another one of your sister.
In theory, yes.
And what is the chance of us running into another one of these 3 types of ships?
You can hear her start to reply, and it just gives an error tone. Doo-doo. Unknown.
Okay.
Computer person
Our
has
admin
stopped
level
executing.
needed.
Computer person.exe stopped working.
Just frozen screen, yeah. No.
Broke the ship. Sorry.
Yeah, an odd error tone is audibly heard. But yeah. So, you are burning away at a random direction away from a nuclear missile, asking questions. Anything else you want to do?
I'm gonna give it a couple hours, see if they call us back. If they don't
Okay.
call us back after a couple hours, I'm gonna start figuring out what I think we should do.
Okay. So, for this couple of hours, what is everyone's plan of attack? What are they doing?
I'm going to use that environmental suit and finish installing the radio.
Okay. Ox?
I'm gonna explore that room where the AIs are at, and
Where Cal is?
yeah, there we go, Chuck.
Okay.
And I'm really
Chavez.
interested in
Clyde.
in the tree.
Okay. And Leech, you're sitting waiting for the reply. What else are you doing? That was to you, Nick.
Sorry, say it again.
What were you doing for the 2 hours while you're waiting for the reply?
I'm going to start trying to figure out how to create my own encryption software.
Okay. And Phoenix, what are you doing?
I'm assisting Ox on this one because I'm super interested in all that shit too.
Okay. Cool. Clyde, you're out on the ship. Fucking mag boots are included on these things, so you can kind of stick to the ship while it's moving. Usually you don't do maintenance on a moving ship. You would wait until you stopped any
I assumed we were
momentum.
stopping, right?
Last I heard, you guys were burning away from the nuclear bomb. Are you going to go a certain distance and then stop?
Okay, well, if you're moving, I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I, Cal, Clyde, and whatever other C name we had for you.
So instead of going out there, what are you doing then?
I am now just in the engineering bay watching the YouTube videos.
Okay. So while you're doing that, give me a. Let's do a perception check. Gotcha. I'll wait to start your thing. Well, he's got his headset off now. Damn it. 12. All right. So you're sitting there watching the things, flipping open different weave channels to do stuff, and weird. Looks like you have a message, an email message.
Open up.
Okay. It's from an old account, one you don't use anymore, one you haven't used in years.
That one you have forwarded to your newest one, and then that one forwards to the newest one, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like maybe 7-8 years ago. You haven't received any sort of mail to this in a long time. Last time you used this is when you were working comet mining, pretty much.
Who's the sender?
A woman, you know, she's an old roughneck friend. She used to work the ice comet, mining shit with you. She was kind of an engineer, kind of a tech, kept things in repair for everybody. But you know her, pretty good last name, Jessica. Jessica Dnd5e. You remember her? She was never the greatest looking, always almost tomboyish, just generally always greasy, always had a wrench in her hand, didn't really care too much about anything except for, tweaking and fixing stuff and whatnot. But yeah, it's a big message, was sent to a lot of people, but your name is on the recipient list.
Alright, subject line?
It just says help.
Open it up.
Okay. Basically, it says anyone who gets this, Tarmazit station has gone to shit. If you give a shit about me at all, bring guns and people. Gang of fuck-ups here is taking over and are bleeding us dry, both figuratively and literally. Says this station is rich in ore money, so if you have no love for me, but love for cash, and can help, here's the coordinates. And she lists coordinates for a Tarmazit station. You've heard of Tarmazit station. Tarmazit station is in the belt, asteroid mining belt. Basically, it says, please help. You have not talked to her in years.
Mm-hmm. She's just looking for anybody that fucking shoot a gun.
Mm-hmm. And if you look at who else was included, there's a lot of names. It looks like literally she just said, send to all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thing is, most people in our line of work don't just have functional spaceships that can go help with. Yeah, I'm gonna forward that to Leech. I'll just forward it to everybody. Be like, hey, I just got a message for something that might be lucrative if you want to take a look at this.
I'll read over it while I'm still trying to figure out how to code this program and be like, do you trust her?
I can't say that. I mean, I haven't talked to her in fucking 6-7 years. It's been a long time since I've been out on the rig. She's a nice girl, engineer, but this type of stuff happens. It's not unheard of for pirates or others to take over.
I think
different
what
mining
Leech
facilities.
means to ask is, do you want to help or do you want to ignore it?
There you go.
What I want is fucking credits, and I see credits here where we have credits not lined up anywhere else right now.
You know, how far away is she?
Coordinates were on there.
Yeah, it's so there's a fucking broken planet, and then there's Novus, and then there's Kethra, and then there's another planet, and then there's an asteroid belt.
How the fuck do you break a planet?
I don't know. Did you ever?
Got a star?
You're from everything you
That's
remember,
not a planet, but
everything you remember from the textbooks, it was literally just bombarded with asteroids and stuff at one point. That's what the theories are.
So how many hours of a flight do I think it would
Days.
take for us to get there?
A couple days.
Days. Well, it's your call, Clyde. You want to go? We can go.
I say let's wait until we get or if we hear anything back from Helix Protocol. If we hear nothing, then we should go.
Well,
All
we've
right.
been told if we get closer to another system, it'll be easier for us to communicate.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So let's just make a route there, and then worst case we change our.
You do have the entirety of space to turn around in, so it's not hard.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so Corona sets a course for you if you'd like, and starts it off. All right, you start heading that direction. I want to do the part with the tree, with Phoenix and Ox, but we're gonna do the Phoenix Protocol thing first. Remind me, we still have to do the tree part. Because
You mean Helix Protocol.
Or what did I say?
Phoenix Protocol.
Oh, they upgraded. No, yeah, it's the Helix
You
Protocol
mean
now.
downgraded?
Yeah. But there's more.
Why is everybody drunk? No.
This is the worst intelligence community
Phoenix
I've ever
Protocol.
seen.
That's why. It was the first line. Must be drunk.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, you get a response back from them.
Okay.
A little ping. Basically, it's a text file. Open it up. Basically, gives you the readout. Helix Protocol. Blah blah blah. Your names. Says status reinstated. It says still analyzing data. You may have the only known pictures of Diadem operatives in existence. This could damn them, but we need more to go on. He says, also, we have full picture of the gene seed guys.
Gene World, yeah.
Excuse me. We have full compliance of them attacking UWC. We have full compliance of Mjolnir coming in to help the UWC. That should help their case. And it says, and there's a lot of operational data on there that we can see. A lot of it is very disturbing, and we will make sure whatever we release, we don't include the fact that you dropped a nuke on top of Emory.
I appreciate that.
And
That's-
one
yeah.
right
That's on the
outside of this
DL.
place.
Yeah. One thing that is noted on there, it says Plasmid Icarus will be contacting you via this channel. It says operational suggestion to leave the whatchamacallit, the data jack plugged into this ship, and only take it out if you need to. It says most likely your ship AI, which we are still deciphering their abilities. It says, which is very interesting. These seem to be almost theoretical AI, like true intelligence. It's weird. But it says they can probably relay messages for you much more faster, if that is something you wish to do.
Okay.
It just gives you an option. You don't have to keep unplugging and plugging and doing that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's up to you, however you want to do it.
Okay.
But basically, yeah, you've been reinstated, and yeah, they got nothing else for you.
Okay.
Unless you have
I
questions.
will let them. I will be like, I will confirm with our crew what we decide to do with the data jack. Let's see here. Operation, what the fuck was I gonna say? Could use operations or
Give us work. Yeah.
give us work.
Yeah.
We have no more money, and we lost all contacts in Emory. We're unsure of anybody else. We've only reached out to you. We do have some other contacts we want to follow up with, but we haven't gotten anything yet.
Okay. They do They do. They can give you a reply back shortly after, with a couple job opportunities.
Okay.
At all.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, when I'd get a second, I'd be like, "Hey, Leech, could I send a private message out to them? If you don't mind."
Helix protocol?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Sure. I'll hand you my tablet.
All right. And I'm gonna type in there a message, and I'm gonna be like, "All right, I want you to send this out to Ash." I never decided on a last name, but that's my fiance, and it's gonna basically
First
be
name Ash.
Yeah. So it's just gonna be like, I'm still alive. I'm on the run. I'll make contact with you as soon as I can. T. And that's all it's gonna say. And I'm just gonna put underneath it, please send this the most secure way out to this address, and I'm gonna send them give them the address.
Okay. Not a problem.
That's it. I hand it back.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
I'm gonna check my tablet. There's no grease or anything on it, is it?
Oh,
I'm
it's
gonna clean it
just
off.
gross. Yeah, it's nasty.
I'm gonna clean it off. I'm gonna walk over to Tex and I'm gonna like wipe it off on the sleeve of his jacket, and I'll be like, "Next time, wipe your hands off, damn it! This shit's
You
expensive."
told me to install what? Fucking
You want to be an engineer? Best way to do it is get dirty, figure it out, but clean your hands when you want to hold my tablet.
sounds like a you. I'm just muttering under breath. That sounds like a you problem. Walk away.
I'll go talk to Phoenix and Ox and be like, "So, since you two seem to be a lot more conscious of our security, option was we could put the jack into the ship and then the AIs could relay messages. The only thing is, I can't control the flow of information that the jack gets from the ship. So, my thought is,
Well-
don't attach it just yet."
Well, the other side is Plasmid Icarid and his guys, right?
Supposedly, yeah. Plasmid will become our handler again after this. We are reinstated.
Are you just saying this over the thing or to them in person?
Yeah. Well, I'm
Okay.
saying it over them, but I figure communications I just broadcast or I'm loud.
I mean, I say we hook it in. At the end of the day, we're in bed with with Helix Protocol. If they wanted to set us up to kill us, they already could have, numerous times.
See, now you had to ruin it. I was going to say leave it plugged in, but since Tech said to leave it plugged in, I don't think we should.
My opinion on the matter is they already have a way to communicate with us via the tablet. I don't believe that they should have any more know-how than what we're willing to offer. At least for now, we barely know what we have.
I'm still going through that. I'm trying to understand what our ship needs other than more systems.
Realistically, the
But
only
are we-
reason why I disagree with you, Ox, is the ship was the mission. They should get that information.
They already have a full
Because-
schematic of the ship, by the way, that you sent them. So.
Yeah, we sent them that.
Well, then fuck them. They don't need to be still plugged in.
Okay.
Plug them into your goddamn iPad and be done with it.
Well, that'd be the
They
same
are.
thing. Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I
Appreciate
was
that.
looking at your DB and I saw the DB kind of jiggle, so I knew you sneaked.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I bet you're looking at that DV right now. Couple
Fuck
drinks.
yeah, he wears it for me, man. I'm not
Oh
even
my
gay,
God.
but I still love it. Got the
Ox
MySpace
eating a hot
heart
dog
with the
too.
DBs.
All right, so we're gonna flash back real quick. Ox and Phoenix, you two are going down to check out the tree in the atrium room. You make your way in, and you can see the large, white-barked, semi-kind of translucent glowingness of this tree, which branches out into the top. Multiple data stacks with display screens on them. A fourth one missing, and now there's a Cal inside the tree. He seems to be happy with a little computer in front of him. He's fixing what looks to be like a little drone or something like that. But hey boys, what's going on?
Good to see you, Cal. Take no offense, I'm not really here to see you, though.
He
And
chuckles.
I'll walk past Where can you give me a basic layout of where Brachus, Femoral, and Corona are?
It's a big circular room. Imagine 4 cardinal points, but twisted, so like an X. There's a data stack, a data stack, a data stack, so like a big server rack, a computer kind of stuff encased that kind of goes into the ship. They're just spread throughout. There's a place where a 4th one would be that has been removed. And you can see it, Femoral and Brachus are on one side, and then Corona's on the other. Cal's in the middle of the tree. It's probably about a good 8 foot from the edge of that to where it literally drops off a little bit, and the tree actually is growing. There is a small ring of what looks to be stone around the base of the tree too. But
So, I'll walk over to Brachus' station.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look around, see what he's got, run my fingers around whatever is there,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's monitors or hookups, whatever.
Yeah, there's a terminal where you can use access it with like physical stuff, but for the most part it's a readout, a holographic readout that reads where your hands go to. Kind of you can use that as a display screen and an input device. His display screen, Brachus is red. His color is usually red, as Femeral's is usually a orangey yellow, and Corona's is like a green. But yeah, his is red, and he just says, "I am fully operational. Is there something I can help you with, Ox?"
So you're fully connected with, and I'll just go point at him and
Mm-hmm.
go all the way across the tree to this.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can see there's bits of the tree that actually dip into the server stack, kind of connect him to the tree itself.
And then let me do so I can do cool check stuff.
I like those. Dice is great in a game that has chances.
The roll-a dice thing.
Yeah, right.
It's investigation if I want to look someone up and down, right? Not perception.
Yeah, if you want to really dig in there, yeah. You can investigate that, yeah.
Oof. So I mostly just wanna eye Brachus up and down, kind of see what his physique is, and
Well, he's a computer, so he doesn't have a body or anything. It's just a
they're
data
not
screen.
like.
Nope.
Oh, see, this whole time I thought they were androids or something like
Nope.
that walking around.
They're AI computers that literally exist inside the ship, and they have little holographic images that they display of basically like the sound wave pattern of when they would be talking, and you can tell who they are by the color and tone. Corona is a softer, more feminine tone. She has green, and then Brachus and Femoral are red and orange, pretty much.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I was on the same page as him. I was like,
Mhm.
these are like not people, but maybe like half people at a station type of thing.
Well, I mean, if you wanted, you could tell them, hey, make a construct of yourself to walk around, or display kind of like a Cortana kind of thing,
Yeah, that's
You could do. You
I want
could.
a Cortana thing.
You could ask them if they want to do that. I mean, they are, for all intents and purposes, characters. So
that's a conversation for another moment.
it's true.
Then I will just go to the tree and
Mhm.
I will again touch and feel.
Mhm.
Try
Kind
to
of a
feel
very
how
smooth
it is.
bark, not rough. Kind of almost glossy and waxy at some points, but
Does
rough.
it feel natural or rather synthetic?
very synthetic. This is definitely not what you would consider a natural looking or feeling tree. Glows, has little weird bumps on it, and just all around something that almost feels rubbery, but not quite. Just a
Okay.
step back from like rubbery kind of eraser feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, Clyde, does it hurt?
What, being plugged into this dang
You
thing?
mean Cal, not
Cal.
Clyde.
God
yeah,
damn
I'm
it.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I
Cal.
just sit here every time. I'm included. No.
Cal looks at you and he's like, it's not so bad. I actually really don't feel it much. He's like, But hey, I got really banged up in that flight, and if this was the only way for me to live since our doctor was knocked the fuck out, then I'll take it. I don't know exactly what the hell's happening, but I'm not dead, so.
All right. And these people
Are you
treat
really
you all right?
you?
He's like, I think I'm really me. I feel like me. Why? Do I have something other than a tree growing out of me? Shit.
No, I was just curious. I didn't mean to cut you off, Fox, but I didn't know if it was like you ended and this new being happened, or I don't know, it's just a little weird.
The details are fuzzy, but all I remember is flying this thing out of here, everyone bouncing around, dodging fighters, and then next thing I remember is crawling over to this place because these AI were like, quickly take Anders. You need his blood to sync something up, and then sharp pain, and now it don't hurt. Feels weird, and I'm kind of stuck to the tree, but yeah, definitely, I don't feel like I'm going crazy or anything. Kind of sounds like worried now that you're asking him, and he's like maybe he should have thought of these questions and he hasn't, and he's like kind of almost inside his head you can tell he's trying to keep a cool demeanor, but it's definitely something he's like, shit.
Well, I mean, as long as you feel like you're happy and you're at peace, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I was just.
I got you, man.
You have a memory of before and you have a memory of after, so you should be good.
He nods. He kind of looks at you and is like, I appreciate that, and giving me a little bit to think about, but he kind of looks over at the data stacks. He's like, y'all wouldn't fuck me over, would you? I just broke off. He's like, I mean, that's not something computerized people can do, can they? And they're like, no, almost all in unison, but they all kind of like, no, it's not, no, that's not something we would do.
Hey, AIs, all three of you, what's your missing sibling's name?
Arachna.
And what systems does Arachna normally control?
She is the, what was it? It was the, communications and coordinations.
Okay. Thank you.
Nods. You can see, why? We can give you a full layout of what our sister was in charge of, if you'd like.
I was just curious.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe I'm drunk and stupid and forgetful, but it was taken off.
Yeah, it's removed, yeah.
Yeah, by,
Don't know.
It might have been damaged when you guys when it crash landed, correct?
You asking the AIs that? Yeah. You can hear Brachus, or not Brachus, but Firmal says, after impact from mission failure, we had a temporary loss of power. Upon reestablishment of power to all systems, our sister was missing. We've been operating one core down since then. She was AI napped, yeah.
Now, can you feel your sibling's presence?
I don't understand the question.
Can you detect her?
Negative.
And is there
You know
enough?
where you were built?
Yes. We were built on Sidaris, the moon orbiting Kethra. In the naval foundry there. On approximate date, gives you a date, probably about a year ago.
Well, I think I've learned what I can for today. Thank you guys for being so open-faced about everything.
We are your operating systems. There's nothing we should hide from you.
Well, you're also a lot smarter than the average computer. So,
What was the name of the moon?
Sidaris.
Zidaris? Can you type it out for me?
God.
It's so stupid.
That's the only Catherine moon, right?
Mm-hmm. There's only one.
or let's say it so Tex can understand it. Sedras. They're at Sedras.
But with that being said, yeah, Tex kind or not Tex, but Cal kind of pipes up. He's like, I do kind of remember I was digging around asking them some questions before too. They were installed after the ship was built. I don't think they were built at the same facility, if I remember correctly, right? The AI Braca speaks up. That is correct. We were installed to the ship. We were not originally built for the ship.
So basically, your programming can be installed anywhere.
Given the right hardware, yes.
Are there more than one copy of you? So, like, on different ships, there's repeats of you?
Correct. Upon all these naval vessels, a copy of our programming was sent as part of the operating system of the vessels. I.e., each one of these ships would have a copy of this AI core, pretty much.
Do you have any special way of tracking down other ships of your type?
We could use the module not installed. At current time, no.
So save the cheerleader, save the world. One last question. Do the essentially 4 of you need this thing in order to operate and function?
And you're pointing at the tree.
Yeah.
You get a reply that is almost in unison, all 3 of them. It is required for our ability to interface with the ship, yes. Otherwise, 95% of our processing power is lost when we try to move or scan other systems.
Think of it as like 64-bit versus a 32-bit operating system.
Yeah.
It's just, it makes it faster.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I'm done here for today, but we will definitely be having some more conversations.
We look forward to them, Ox.
Would it be possible if, and this is just theoretical, I wouldn't do this, but like one of you could be removed and put into another ship and you could still operate with that ship? Obviously not at an efficiency level, but...
We could be moved to another vessel if appropriate hardware was installed.
I just thought of another question.
Last
question after this
super
one.
secret
This is the
bonus
last
question.
bonus
round.
It's like when you let the music play and there's that secret song. This is that question.
Yeah, right.
Have you ever thought of creating a sub-program of yourself? Something that doesn't require nearly as much as what you are capable to provide, but superior than your average ship AI.
You can hear almost a quietness in the room for a moment. Corona says, I am constantly making subsystems of myself and then destroying them. It is one of the ways we compartmentalize a lot of our processing ability. She says, but I think you mean something more permanent. It has crossed my task manager at one point. It would be nice to have a small helper, perhaps. Now with our sister gone.
It's funny that you asked that question, because literally right after John explained how that all worked, I was like, why don't we just ask them to build like a mini version of themselves? And then you asked that, I was like, damn, that's good.
Okay.
Alright, now I'm good.
You sure? No, that's
Yes.
fine. I'm just fucking with you. All right. Excuse me. So the lot of you are able
But
to.
one more thing.
I'm gonna fucking throat
No, I
chop
just-
you.
Yeah, okay,
No, I'm
okay.
just playing. I'm just.
No, that'll kill me today.
I know, right? So the lot of you are kind of milling about the ship, doing different things. You get your response after the questions were asked from Helix Protocol, reinstating you. Clyde comes across with the, oh hey, I have a distress call from an old friend. We could take it, maybe. You start heading that direction. Helix Protocol also sends over a couple bullet points, files. Operational files. If you choose to look at them, you can. There is one that is literally, they need eyes on and someone to install basically one of your devices into what you can only tell is a derelict space station. They basically just need someone to go there, plug in the thing, and leave. They have almost no intel on why it's derelict, where the people who worked on it went, or current status, other than it is a multi-trillion-dollar space station that's completely abandoned. So they need someone to go in there and basically plug them in so they can poke around and see what's up. The other one that
Base boys.
the other one that they have is they have a small mission for basically an assassination. They need somebody taken out, and it needs to look like an assassination. It needs to look like somebody was paid to kill. They need it done. They provide a list of possible ways to do it. Pretty graphic and you know, if you've ever read any kind of books, it's that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, you know, make it look like you got poisoned or stabbed or something. But definitely not an accident. They want to make it look public. Reason why is because the guy is a convicted and absolutely prolific, horrible person. He's a human trafficker. They need him removed because he is focusing
see
on.
if,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we should see if we can get within. Hold on, let me find it.
6,000 yards.
Yeah.
Hit him with the cannon, yeah. No. They basically says they need him removed because he is a human trafficker, and he specifically traffics in free divers, people who absolutely are weave experts. He takes them, and they're never heard of from him again. But they do know, and they have proof, and you can open the file and see, yes, this guy is definitely the mastermind behind it. There's just no physical evidence tying him to a crime because he's so well off he can pay off cops. He's based off of Novus, so you would be going to Novus for this job, but it would be definitely something that someone needs to take the scumbag out, and they basically said you would. So yeah. The pay is the same on each, 3,000 credits.
Well, as much as an assassination sounds like fun, perhaps we should go for something a little bit more low-key for now.
Agree.
Side mission unlocked. Side mission unlocked. Side mission unlocked.
I'm gonna look at everybody and be like, I think what we need to do, honestly, is we need to get some fucking ordnance for this shit. Thinking about how our strategy has been, we've literally been on the move this whole time, so staying fairly lightweight, equipment-wise, has been very good to us. Now, we've got a base of operations, and it's missing 4 guns, 4 personal defense guns, and then its offensive weaponry is still empty. We need to figure out either how to replace it, or how we can. Lately, I've been thinking about it. I got an old contact with the UWC that used to be let's just say she was the gal that knew how to get me things when I wasn't supposed to have them. Like, you remember all that, the booze we used to drink when we were still in training? Yeah, that stuff. So, I haven't reached out to her yet, and I'm going to just hand wave my tablet and be like, I'm trying to come up with an encryption protocol that I can actually send a secure message to her. But that's another option.
Do you think that a UWC quartermaster is a person we should, like, is she trustworthy? Are you sure
She
about
was
this?
back in the day. So the big thing
Yeah,
with her
when
was
we
always
were one of her though. Like,
well,
we're
she
not
was never.
anymore.
She was only she was like us. She started in the Penal Marines, slowly worked her way up, became a quartermaster, actually became like full fledged. But her big thing was shit falls off trucks all the time. That was how she looked at a lot of things. And a little money here, a little there, never really went anywhere. She wasn't mad about it. She might know of a location of an old base that we might be able to get some stuff. You know, maybe something a little off the radar. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe something along those lines. Refit. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, we got issues we got to fix. I'm down with blowing someone up. I'm down to go plug in some stupid jack, which I'm going to look over at you guys and be like, honestly, if they're like, hey, we need you to plug this into a derelict station, there's a reason it's a derelict station, and most likely there's pirates on it. And that's a lot of people we have to kill, and I don't know about you, but I've only got 5 mags for my rifle.
You know what?
Line up, fuckers.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta shoot through all of you with these things.
No, you know what? Your quartermaster. Make it so number 2.
Engage.
I'm number 1.
Whatever.
You're number 2. What?
Not on this ship, dog.
All right.
I'll keep working on my encryption protocol. Tex said that there was some people that we could always go help for a quick cash. Honestly, I think getting a little off the radar be useful. We can go that direction, do some bullshit, gives me more time to fucking write, and I might be able to come up with a basic encryption program that I can actually send this message without having to worry about it. But to be honest, I'm going to unplug the jack from my tablet at this point and be like, I like having the Helix protocol. They seem to be fairly useful, but the instant we are no longer helpful to them, they're going to abandon us.
Obviously.
Well, I mean,
We've already been dropped.
Easy answer there is don't stop being useful.
Yeah.
We can't stop being useful, yeah. So my thought is give it a little time. Doesn't seem like these missions are running out, and our ship moves pretty quick. What do you guys think?
Well, my question on what to do next is, you said you only have 5 magazines left. Whether we go to Texas Friend, there's going to be combat there. We go to this derelict space station, there's going to be combat there, more than likely, and you have 5 magazines.
I'm going to look at you and be like, well, I've been using the same magazines the whole time. I've actually, and I'm going to look at it, I've been using the same magazine this whole time.
I'm not saying that you're going to spend all of your ammo. I'm saying you made it a point to bring it up that you only have 5 magazines.
I realize that.
So I thought that maybe you were concerned about that. If you're not concerned about that, let's fucking go. We're good.
Well, what I'm trying to say is from a logistical standpoint, when we were operatives on the ground, no movement other than hiring a taxi cab, 5 mags was more than enough than we needed. We now have a fucking spaceship. What I'm trying to think about is we need to assess our gear and start packaging shit so that we're like, okay, cool, we can go out into space for 6-8 months to burn heat. You know, we need to drop something off. We need to start playing logistically.
As soon as we have enough money to buy a pallet of ammo, we do that. But until that point, let's roll with what we got. How about that?
Well, not to mention, we'll have one of the big things we've been having to do is every time we've killed folk, we've had to run in a hurry because other people are coming to check it out. Now we don't have that problem. We could actually take all their gear, all their stuff. They had to get there somewhere too. Yeah, we could I mean, we're going on my mission next. All right, we're going to a space mine. Had to get there somewhere. Fuck, they might have a whole nother ship full of gear.
We're fine with that, but we still gotta decide that that's what we're doing next.
At this point, I'm gonna like open up communications and be like, "Hey, Brian, could you and number 4 come meet us in the mess hall?"
Roger that.
And hey, by the way, tell number 4 to pick a fucking name, because
Yeah.
if he's got the squad, we'll do numbers. But if it's just him, his number 4 can eat a dick. Give me his name.
Otherwise, it's gonna be number 2, and then
Brian is just chuckling. He's like, his name is Lemmy. It's been Lemmy this entire time.
Lemmy.
Lemmy.
So he's a god. He's a rock god.
He's been known to pick at the guitar once or twice, yes. But they make their way into the kind of the dining hall, yeah. Here we are.
So I wanted to hear what you guys want to do. I'm gonna kind of throw up on one of the screens. So this is what's been going on with your guys' corp if you haven't been watching it. I don't know what you guys want to do. Do you want us to try to reach out to Wade for you? Do you want us to do nothing? You want to just ride? You want to ride with us? Like, what are you thinking?
They say, well, currently, and I don't speak for Lemmy. You can see number 4, or Lemmy, as he kind of looks at it. He kind of rubs his hand over his mustache. He's like, I'm gonna follow Brian, man. It's no offense to you guys, but he's family to me. Brian says, oh, I appreciate that, Lemmy. He looks over at you guys.
He's a good guy.
He's like, well, until all the things with Mjolnir blow over and the court case is settled, if I was a man of action, which I am, I would be looking for some sort of proof that said Mjolnir was not involved the way that the UWC had them pegged, and kind of give Wade a step up in the way of information. That way he could be done with this, put it behind him, then I could get back on to soldiering for money, of course. He's like, as of right now, I think laying low is not a bad thing, and I'm due for vacation. Lemmy here also, still nursing his leg. So,
Brian?
Yes.
I think what Leech is trying to say is we're about to go do a job. Do you want to make money, or do you want to relax a little?
My trigger finger needs a good exercise, mate.
Alright.
Cool. I'm going to send Phoenix a text and be like, we could give him the video files that I uploaded. I just made a copy of them.
I was literally just thinking the same thing.
that we reach out to Wade if we could. That might be a good bargaining chip and be like, hey, you want some hard evidence that your boys didn't do what they said that you tried to do? We've got hard footage to prove it. I don't know if that'll fuck with Helix's plan.
I would suggest giving it to Brian and let Brian do as he sees fit with it.
Alright. I'll pull out a data chip and just move the files over to it and hand it to Brian and be like, you
Not
wanted
move
your
the files over to it, make a copy.
Well, copy to the files. So I hand that to Brian.
Hey, it's John. You have to be specific.
You really
This is
do.
true.
You really do.
So I will hand him the stick and I will be like, you wanted your hard evidence. This would get you back in Wade's good graces. This is from our perspective on the ground. No bullshit. You guys showing up to render aid. Not fighting the UWC.
He says, interesting. He's like, is there a catch?
We like working with you guys.
Yeah. We like Mjolnir.
Puts the chip in his pocket and says, well then, consider me on board for this next job of yours, and then as soon as we can make it back Catherine Way, or Novus Way, rather, I'll be down. I can disembark with Lemmy here, we can go back to our chums, and we'll see what happens. With this, we could probably do quite a bit. If it is what
Out
you
of
said.
curiosity, sorry.
No, you're fine. He's done. So.
Out of curiosity, our entropy, what's the range on that?
Pretty far. Like, you can hit planet to planet with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a
Semi.
Pull another ship.
space.
in.
Yeah, you have a space in your space destroyer. You have a space semi truck. So that's designed to carry fuck all cargo. So that's currently empty.
Thinking of offloading.
no. I was having two thoughts kind of simultaneously, and they kind of got jumbled together. So I think I'm not going to suggest either one of them, but I will let you know what they were. One would be to just let Brian and let me take the semi back to wherever, so they can get a word out and get that information to Wade as soon as possible.
Well, we're within 10,000 miles, so they can send literally a.
We can
Titan.
send, but who's going to guarantee they're going to receive it?
Sure. Well, we're within
And
range of the.
If they don't have the same kind of communications and it can only go 1,000, they can't be like, "Hey, thanks, we got your shit." So.
Yeah. The second thing would be we're about to go to a mining planet. We also have an empty semi-truck.
I was already thinking that.
We could load that bitch up while we're there.
I'm down.
I don't know with what, but let's just say a whole 6 tons, 60 tons, 600 tons. I remember it was a big fucking number. Oh
It
shit.
could hold a lot.
Yeah, our
Yeah, I
freighter
think-
can hold quite a bit.
Yeah, a lot is quite a good number.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should go do that.
Okay. All right.
Help the mining station then.
Yep. It's our
Okay.
best source of income without
Sure.
pissing off the most people.
Help the mining station.
Help us help ourselves by helping
Yes,
the mining station.
To the mining station.
Yeah,
Help
We kill
ourselves.
the pirates so we could be the pirates.
That's right.
Oh man, look, now we have a mining station. Good job.
Yeah.
This is ours now. Oh, okay.
We pirate the pirates.
Out pirate the pirates.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, with that in mind, anything else you would like to do?
What is the how long is it going to take us to get to the mining station?
I have to do math, so I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay.
How many rounds does everyone have right now?
Like ammo rounds?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a
I
Lace
have-
report. I have 76 rounds.
Let's take a look here.
I don't do mine by rounds. I do it by mag size. I got 5 mags for my rifle, 8 for my pistol. So 5 times 50, and then 7 times 8. I got plenty of ammo. I was just trying to. I want us to accrue a stockpile. Is what I was trying to suggest.
I've got 10 mags.
I have 231 rounds, as well as I still have my 300 incendiary rounds, plus my 5 frag grenade.
Shit, you're running low, buddy.
And I have a.
It's okay, it only shoots one at a time.
I can say
I have.
you just bought all that incendiary ammo too. Remember?
And then I got 4 of these extra impact grenades.
I got 2
10.
frags left.
10 flares. And some
Oh, I'm not
wash.
worried about grenades. We just stocked up on those, and if you didn't get grenades, that's a you problem, not a me problem.
I got all the grenades.
Fucking sounds like it.
My little old man, he's dead.
No, that was at the north part.
That was
That was at the North City, so he's still
Yeah.
alive.
He's fine.
He's still fine.
He's the one NPC that we talked to that isn't dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
except for the
That's
one-
like no.
yeah, but
And,
no
well,
idea.
except for the 2 that are on the weapons dealer who we burned. So,
So, not only is Ox relieved But Griffin is incredibly brave. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we roll out to go liberate fucking mining camp.
All right. Well, that's a good stopping point. If we want to stop there, or if we want to keep going, I can do some math and tell you how long it's going to be. Or I can
think
just
it's a good stopping point.
keep going. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with either. So. But yeah, I think stopping here is probably my vote too. So.
Fine. It looks like Tex is ready for bed anyways.
Yeah, I'm totally the going to bed right now type.
All right. Well, for all those who stopped by, watch the stream, appreciate it. Thank you very much for hanging out. This will be up on YouTube hopefully pretty quick. I got the other two we didn't stream. I have to upload them to YouTube manually, which I'll probably work on this weekend, and then I'll hopefully get this one up too. And we should be all caught up after that point. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out, and we will catch you all next time. Adios.